everyone, and welcome back to part 3 of Fields of Mistria. We're continuing onwards in fall, and it's probably my favorite season, as in most other games, really. Anyways, enjoy the video. Monday the 1st was Valen's birthday. I didn't really have anything for her stored at home, so I bought one glass of red wine from the Sleeping Dragon Inn, since that's a liked item for her. Also, fall outfits, super cute. As per usual, when the season changes, I bought all the new seeds available to me at the store, and this time I also purchased some fruit trees, 2 apple and orange saplings. Planting everything back at the farm took up most of the day, and I made a better layout for the crops. I have no idea if you can move fruit trees, and after a bit of back and forth, I decided to plant them left of the house. They'll be ready in about 14 days. Once I was done with the crop layout, I tested out the growth spell, and ta-da! Rice, onion and wheat already fully matured on day 1. Now I can harvest them every 3 days. I still had a bit of time left before bed, and I used that to look for new flowers and other forage. On 58, I unlocked the Bountiful Tier 2 perk in farming. Now watering a crop will occasionally drop a seed, which sounds crazy OP to me. I met with Hayden, Adeline and Reyna over at Sweetwater Farm to prepare another batch of emergency rations for Mistria. Remember in spring where I already did that with the turnip seeds? Yeah, this is part 2 of that quest. They want 10 cheese and 12 eggs. The eggs I already have, but once again the milk is a bit more tricky, we'll have to wait a few days for that. I made my way down to the beach to do some foraging, found a hermit crab and caught a shark shortly after, my first fall fish. Dropped off everything new at the museum and finished the beach insect collection. I'm planting more and more crops each season, so I thought it was finally time to get a new watering can. The wheat I got earlier was turned into flour and then processed further into bread. Also made some deviled eggs now that I have the horseradish for that, which brought me up to cooking level 25. By day 59 I had exactly 100 shiny beads. For that I got 6 golden cheese. Yeah, I don't know if that was worth it. It is a locked item for Hayden, but I'm gonna stick to trading only 10 of these for now. I had just enough money to purchase a medium coop blueprint from the carpenter, then stopped by the clinic where I got a cutscene with Valen. She was tending to Hayden, who twisted his ankle by tripping over a sack of grain. Wait, what? My guy, I just saw you standing at your farm like a minute ago. When did that happen? Hayden was super dramatic about this, even saying that Henrietta has to arrange his funeral, but he has a point though. If he cannot move for 2 weeks straight, who will take care of his precious crops, and more importantly, his animals? Valen constructed me to go down into the basement and retrieve some fluid from a barrel. Didn't even know she had a basement. Down there, I'm suddenly getting Graveyard Keeper flashbacks. I know she's a doctor and all, but man, this stuff looks odd. I do love that everything is pink and purple. Whatever that was in the barrel instantly cured Hayden. You're not gonna question that? At all? No? Okay. After my checkup, I asked about her, and I quote, creepy basement, which she really didn't appreciate, and kinda just brushed over. So, Valen is also someone who works with magic, same as Juniper. She just became so much more interesting. Since it was raining, I decided to spend some time fishing by the pond, and later unlocked Perfect Catch. Now uncommon and rare fish will be more likely to find. Finished the medium coop construction the following day. I know the layout looks a bit weird at the moment, but it's a work in process. Bought more heart treats for the chickens and moved all of them over into the new building. Same as Rice, his uncle Landon loves hardwood, which is super convenient, makes it a lot easier to befriend those two. Purchased more seeds at the general store. Finished the fall forage collection that day, which earned me a spring sofa blueprint. Then kinda just smooched around town, looking for any new critters and flowers. Hemlock requested a sapphire a few days ago, which I handed to him on day 61, monster shells for March, then visited Juniper at her bathhouse. She was handing a tonic to Ulrich so that he can get even bulkier, and upon consuming it, he grew rabbit ears. Again, how is this woman allowed to have customers? After Ulrich left, Juniper just casually explained to me that she's using the townfolk for her experiments to test out her potions. She feels the arcane energy around me, makes sense since I can use magic myself, but she knows I'm no threat to her. The reason why she decided to come to Mistria is because there is unique magic here that is worth studying. Instead of using the other townies for her little magic tricks, she suggested that I should become her guinea pig instead. Oh boy, that's something for another day. Friday night it is, you know the drill, time for a bit of socializing at the Sleeping Dragon. At the bar we have Elsie, Rice, Torithia, Landon and Earl, who discuss the latest edition they read for the book club. Valen, Aelin, Holt, Nora, and Celine are sitting at the former drawing club spot where Aelin found an old board game hidden in the museum called Lords of the Land. They didn't actually play the game as they couldn't agree on what character each of them should play. Luke, Hayden, Marge, and Rhaena play Queen Maple's Game of Succession, where they all pitch in their ideas to become Maple's heir. And lastly we have Baylor, Juniper, Ulrich, and Adeline upstairs together with Del, who wants to recruit new members for the Dragon Guard. Nobody was really interested in Del's game, well except Ulrich, until she mentioned the treasure she found. While at the inn I made more bread, and on the way back home I found a tiger swallowtail butterfly. Saturday was Mary's birthday, who I'm gifted some wood, as that was the only liked item I had for her. Then I was off to the mines, where I spent most of the day. I found a rock root, a mushroom stool crafting recipe, rock roach, and rock biter. Lots of rocks. This allowed me to finish the deep earth fish, forage, and insect collection. Next day I unlocked the lucky and unexpected haul from the fishing perk list. Got my first broccoli and cranberry harvest, busy doing random delivery quests, bought new cooking recipes from the inn, visited the beach once again to work on the fall ocean fish collection, and after going to bed I had a new addition to the vlog. Say hello to Melina, the purple chicken. Monday morning I had enough milk to process the last bit of cheese needed for the food reserve quest. For finishing this, Hayden gifted me 2 new accessories for my animals, a cheese head for the cows and an egg head for the birds. Over at the carpenter I purchased a medium barn blueprint, and that really made me wonder when I'll unlock new livestock to buy. I still only have chickens and cows available at the store, but as we can see, there's a lot of other options there. No idea. For now I was occupied with cleaning up around the farm, and I accidentally hit one of my chests, which made a huge mess. I didn't even know you could do that. That day I figured out that the shovel is used for creating paths around the farm. And on day 65 I was still remodeling everything. I put my cows into Hayden's daycare, which is free by the way, super handy, removed the old barn, placed down the medium barn, bought a second chocolate colored cow, and was busy with decorating. I know I could have done something more productive that day, but the layout of the animal buildings has been bothering me for a while now, and I'm really happy with the results. I also crafted some lanterns and hay bale to make it even more cozy. Adeline sent me a letter the next day where she wants to meet up at Hayden's farm for a new project. Always excited for that. So I met with them shortly after. Adeline wants to upgrade Hayden's coop and barn to fit more animal livestock. Finally, I've been waiting for this. This is the biggest project so far. 400 wood, 500 stone, 8 iron ingots, and 4,000 gold. But it's gonna be well worth it. I want those new animals. I am however completely out of money, so I made more cheese, flour, mayo and rice, which was used for cooking shortly after. 67 I visited Celine's cottage, where I wanted to finish a request for her little sister, but got a cutscene with her instead. The Flower Codex describes a seed, which seems to be the one we found a while ago. She's been trying her best to make it grow again, but a seed this old is gonna take some time. We added new soil, watered it just a bit, and never mind, it already sprouted. Celine confirmed that this is indeed the flower from her childhood, and made some tea while I documented everything we learned about it today. I gave Del the chestnuts she asked for yesterday, fished at the pond to see if I can catch any rain-exclusive fish. On my way to the dig site I found another legendary artifact, the Lost Crown of Aldaria, Finders Keepers, and after heading to bed I said hello to a new member of the family, my first blue chicken, and I named her Leda. On Friday I bought 1 breaded catfish from the inn and gifted it to Rhaena since it was her big day. I unlocked this really cool dragon statue for reaching town rank 39 and spent the day looking for stone and iron in the Tide Caverns. Later I made a silver sword, which leveled up my blacksmithing skill to 31, and lastly I unlocked my first tier 3 skill point, which was in cooking, dinner for 2, which sometimes creates a bonus extra dish, and it is exactly as OP as it sounds. Funny number day was not that eventful. My fruit trees were fully grown by now, which means I get fresh oranges and apples every 3 days during fall. I treated myself to a new haircut over at Darcy's stall, wavy long twin buns, and swapped on the full ranger set. Peak fashion. Caught a razorback at the river, which was the final item for the fall river fish collection, and also finished the fall flower set. Then I was once again occupied in the mines at the upper levels, mainly to gather stone. Monday morning I unlocked the hasty blacksmithing perk, which has a chance to infuse crafted armor with a 4% speed bonus. That sounds really nice, and I want to focus on making myself a full set of armor soon, since I haven't done that up until this point. I visited Reyna at the Sleeping Dragon Inn, where I was allowed to taste test her new wild berry pie recipe. Shortly after, Adeline came in as well to let us know that Mistria was accepted in a culinary event that has a panel of judges traveling around the country to find the very best food. Reyna got incredibly nervous upon hearing the good news, but I told her that if anyone can do it, it's her. Over the past few in-game days, I've been gathering stone and wood non-stop, which paid off today as I had everything ready for Hayden's coop and barn upgrade. To help with this massive project, Rice's uncle Landon came along too, and together we got to work. Now that Hayden's farm is fully upgraded, I have access to ducks, horses, rabbits, and sheep. Of course, for that, I need a bit more money again, so I was back to cooking. Upon going to bed that day, I got a notification that there was a fierce wind overnight and we reached town rank Iron. The very next day I had Hayden outside my house asking if everything was alright due to the storm. My property wasn't damaged, but his new weather vane went missing. I offered to look for it while I'm out later. After he left, I captured a walking leaf insect and had my first pumpkin harvest. At the chicken statue, I traded in all the shiny beads I've been hoarding and got 2 new cooking recipes and this really stylish barrette for any future sheeps. Stopping by the museum, I donated the pumpkin and leaf insect, which completed the fall crops and insect collection. Hayden mentioned that the weather vane blew off north of his farm. I don't know how he knows that, but I looked around the museum area and found it shortly after. It was next to a stone horse statue, and has this always been here? I swear I've been here before. I can offer 100 essence to it, but I don't have that yet. I'll keep that in mind for sure. In town I collected another stamina potion and of course gave Doozy some wood as it was his birthday. I was a bit overwhelmed with the new animal choices, but I settled on 2 mallard ducks as they will provide duck eggs and feathers in the future. 73 was spent in the mines, all day. Found an obsidian blade, mushroom stool from a mimic, and made it to floor 60, which is the final level in the mines, for now at least. A bit unfortunate that I'm already done, but the game is in early access after all, so I can't really complain about that. Thursday came around and I purchased myself 2 horses, Sparkly and Ed. I returned the weather vane to Hayden and went back to the horse statue to donate the 100 essence. This triggered a cutscene where a purple horse teleported next to me. This is Mistria, and from now on, my very own mount. Best game. As you can see, I was ecstatic about this. She can even jump, and boy am I fast now. A bit later I met with Hemlock, Josephine and Adeline at the inn to propose a new town project. Yep, we're upgrading the inn next. Besides the usual stone and wood, I also need to gather peat, glass and silver ingots. That's gonna take some time for sure. While in town I smelted the ore from yesterday, made a silver fishing rod and helmet, then tested out the new rod at the pond, but mostly fished up turtles. Got my first duck egg on 75, completed 2 delivery quests for Josephine, stopped by the carpenter where I treated myself and bought the lovely cottage furniture pack. It is finally time to redecorate the house, because let's be real here for a second, it's kind of an eyesore. In hindsight, I should have definitely waited with this, as all of these furniture pieces take so much wood to craft, and I need that for more important things later, but whatever, it's done now. I changed out the bed, wallpaper, flooring, window and nightstand, then quickly went over to the inn to chat with everyone. This week's choice for the book club was selected by Landon, who chose a manual for reconstructing a wooden cathedral, which to everyone else's dismay wasn't all that interesting. Elend discovered that the board game they've been playing is apparently banned in 7 countries, 4 provinces and 2 city-states, as the game has a history of turning neighbor against neighbor. Reminds me of Ludo, or Man jaget dich nicht in German. Back at the farm I built a new dresser and table, then ran out of wood, but I'm already loving how it looks. So much more cozy. Next day I purchased 1 red wine from the inn for Louis' birthday, bought the straight long buns from Vera as they fit me more than the wavy ones, processed some cheese, flour and rice at the mill, which took up most of the day. Fall 21st was my birthday. Celine sent me a letter with some rose tea as a gift. I assume only people you have more hearts with send you a birthday present. That or no one besides her likes me. Mistmere and I rode down to the beach where I spent the day fishing. I'm missing 1 fish for the Oceanfall collection, but I didn't find it unfortunately. After going to bed I got my first tier 3 cow, Freya, and I'm so happy she's pink. I haven't mentioned this at all, but I talk to Caldarus pretty much every day and I love that he has so many different dialogue lines. He reacts to basically everything I do, whether that be a cutscene, hard event, or finishing any bigger project in town. It's a very nice detail. I unlocked the Welcome Home Point 2 for ranching. I know this is a farm sim, but animal husbandry in this game is so much more interesting. I tried my luck at the pond again today. Besides frogs, an artifact, and turtles, I got nothing new. But at the beach I caught a sari, which was the last one for the fall ocean fish set. The following morning I saw that my horses were all grown up by now. Now they'll produce horsehair every 3 days. I bought 2 hard treats for the ducks and a few different animal accessories. Put the 2 red chickens in Hayden's daycare so that I have more room for new babies. I need a purple duck, alright? The focus for today was gathering wood, and for that I chopped down every single tree that was in my way, as I finally came to realize that I need a meager 600 wood for the inn upgrade. This is gonna take forever. I learned that next to the manor house is also a pond. Really wish I knew that a bit sooner. And caught a striped bass. With that, finished the fall pondfish set. At the carpenter I bought a level 3 kitchen, which is the best one available at the moment, which I tested out the next day and made a sea bream rice. I unlocked the tier 3 perk Barnyard Bounty, where ducks and horses have a chance to produce extra items, then decided to spend my time in the upper levels of the mines, where I found a rock gooby and 2 minor pickaxes. This finally let me finish the upper mines artifact and fish collection. The other pickaxe I gave to Ulrich, which he requested ages ago. I think this was one of the very first requests I accepted back at the beginning of spring. On Thursday I traded in more beads for a pudding recipe, and this super adorable horse crown. While in the area I wanted to give Hayden some deviled eggs, where I saw that he was using a gold watering can. Where did you get that exactly? I guess that confirms gold tools in the future. For reaching town level 42 I got a new cosmetic item, being the Caldosian Traveler's Coat, which I immediately put on along with my star hair clips. Gotta keep up with the latest fashion standards, of course. The pudding I handed to Ayland, which again is something he requested weeks ago. Since I have the level 3 kitchen now, I bought all the cooking recipes available to me at the inn, along with some ingredients at the general store for more advanced recipes. Then I was back to gathering wood, and lastly I got my hands on the Empowered Blacksmithing perk, which makes any infusions more likely on crafted tools, weapons and armor. Day 82 I purchased 2 hard treats for the horses, gifted Juniper a crystal rose for her birthday, had a look at the collection tab in the museum, and decided to spend my time in the deep earth levels this time. Don't really know why, to be honest, as I already found all of the different insects and fish, but I guess I was looking for silver ore. Being a Friday, I of course stopped by the inn later, also to hand out some gifts, and the conclusion for this season, the board game table was having shortcakes with tea. They didn't even play Lords of the Land, as Valen took it home last week and threw it into the river. Don't really know how to feel about littering, but they seem to be much more content without it. Maple learned that being a monarch isn't really the way to go, and declared that from now on the Royal Council will take over. And the Dragon Guard crew found Dell's treasure, which was a rock under her bed. Seems about right. That night, it finally happened. I got my first tier 2 duck, and I think it's the purple mandarin one. I'm not sure, but I hope so. And I named her Jolan. Next day I focused on decorating my house a bit more. I bought a bakery dessert case and white stools from Mary, as well as a crafting recipe for a picnic blanket. I moved the kitchen to the fireplace spot, made a cottage plant shelf, created a little picnic area in front of the fruit trees, and later in the evening I maxed out my very first skill, which was of course in cooking. Day 84 I picked up the last fall harvest, received a letter from Hayden where he let me know that I can have his leftover animal feed he ordered. Never gonna say no to free items. So I stopped by Sweetwater Farm to say hello. Hayden told me that he's worried about Henrietta's temper and that it might cause her to lose some of her blue ribbons in the future. It's not always about winning, but I can see that bad manners in general are an issue, yes. My advice would be to get her to socialize more, and she seems to be happy about the suggestion I made. Also, I did get 3 quality animal feed after a cutscene. I really like that you sometimes get free items after the hard events. For donating some beads again, I got a cow halo, and I think this is my favorite accessory so far. Definitely. I really didn't do much else today. I ran around town handing out gifts, more wood gathering, and that's about it. And that does it for part 3 of Fields of Mistria. Winter being the last season, I'm gonna prioritize the inn upgrade, as I think this is the last main quest in the early access version of the game. And maybe I'm also gonna expand my house. I have the money for it, but yeah, the materials are an issue. I'm also gonna try my best to get all the marriage candidates up to at least 4 hearts, so we can see more of the cutscenes, and potentially also do 6 hearts. Hayden and Celine are definitely doable, but not sure about the others. As always, if you have any tips for me, then feel free to leave a comment down below, I love reading them. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode.